Have you ever wondered what it would be like to lose your beloved pet, only to have them return to you after months or even years? The emotions, the reactions, the joy. Today, we're bringing you the most heartwarming animal reunions ever caught on camera. From cats that waited for their owners to return to wild lions embracing their rescuers, these stories will show you just how deep the bond between humans and animals can be. But before we dive into these emotional moments, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss more amazing content from Facts Thing. This first story will make you realize just how much pets miss us when we're gone. After being separated from its owner for just 3 days, this loyal cat was found waiting at the door every single day, patiently looking out for its human's return. When the reunion finally happened, the cat wasted no time and leapt into its owner's arms, purring and rubbing against them as if to say, "Don't leave me again." This heartwarming scene shows that even short separations can feel like forever for our furry friends. What happens when a wild predator forms an unbreakable bond with a human? Well, this story of lions greeting their rescuer after years apart shows exactly that. These two lions were rescued as cubs and raised with love and care. Despite their fierce reputation, they remembered the woman who saved them and treated her like a family member. Each time she visits, the lions rush to embrace her, showing her the kind of affection you'd never expect from such majestic animals. It's a powerful reminder that wild animals can also form deep emotional bonds. In a touching reunion, a camel recognized its previous owner, who had cared for it years before. But what makes this story unique is the fact that the camel began to shed tears the moment it saw its old friend. These emotional tears aren't something you'd expect from a tough desert animal like a camel, but it shows just how strong their connection can be with humans. Crocodiles are known for being cold-blooded predators, but Margarita, a large crocodile raised by a human, had an unusual reaction when she reunited with her owner. As soon as she heard his voice, she swam towards him, showing an unexpected display of affection for a crocodile. It goes to show that even reptiles can form meaningful bonds with their human caretakers.
Margarita?
Most people don't expect geese to be affectionate, but this next reunion story will change that perception. After being away for a long time, a man returned to his hometown only to find his old pet goose waiting for him. Not only did the goose remember him, but it brought its entire flock to greet him. The moment they were reunited, the goose was visibly excited, making happy noises and staying by his side the entire time. This story features a tiger cub that was rescued and raised by a human family. Years later, when the cub was fully grown, it was reunited with its original caretaker. You'd think a fully grown tiger might be intimidating, but not in this case. As soon as the tiger saw its rescuer, it turned into a big, purring kitten, rolling on the ground and nuzzling its human. The bond between the tiger and its rescuer had only grown stronger over time. Next, we have a bear that was rescued and raised as a cub. Years later, the bear was reintroduced to the wild, but its bond with its human caretaker never faded. When they were reunited, the bear was overjoyed, embracing the man who had saved its life as a cub. It's rare to see such loyalty and affection from a bear, but this one considered its rescuer part of the family. Parrots are known for their intelligence and ability to mimic human speech, but this particular parrot took things a step further. After being apart from its owner for several months, the parrot greeted them not just with words, but with affectionate kisses. Every time they were separated, the parrot would shower its owner with love upon their return, and this reunion was no different. The parrot seemed to genuinely miss its human friend. Foxes are known for being elusive, but this pet fox could hardly contain its excitement when it was reunited with its owner after 5 long years. The fox didn't just wag its tail or jump around it, actually started screaming in joy. The loud, excited noises were its way of showing how much it had missed its human companion. It's not often you see a fox so thrilled to be reunited, but this one definitely made its feelings clear. Lynxes are typically shy and solitary animals, but this one had a special bond with its human owner. After being apart for 10 months, the lynx showed a mixture of emotions when they were finally reunited. At first, it seemed upset that its owner had been gone for so long, but then it quickly melted into a loving reunion, rubbing its head against the owner in a show of affection. This baby jaguar was separated from its human caretaker for just 3 months, but the reunion was nothing short of touching. As soon as the jaguar saw its human friend, it clung to them like a small cub, even though it had already grown into a powerful predator. The jaguar's devotion to its caretaker was clear, and their bond was as strong as ever. You might think of rhinos as tough, gruff animals, but these orphaned rhinos had a very different reaction when they reunited with the woman who had saved them as babies. When she visited them again, the rhinos couldn't contain their excitement, greeting her with deep, happy grunts. The bond between them was evident, and it was clear that the rhinos hadn't forgotten the kindness shown to them. Wolves are often seen as fierce and dangerous, but this story proves they can also be affectionate. This wolf had been raised by a woman after being rescued as a cub, and when they reunited years later, the wolf was overjoyed. It nuzzled and licked her, showing a gentleness that few would expect from such a wild animal. The bond between them was clear as the wolf remembered its human friend. This swan didn't just remember its rescuer, it seemed to have a lot to say. When the swan was reunited with its human companion, it immediately started making sounds, almost as if it was talking. The two spent hours reconnecting, and the swan followed its friend around, clearly overjoyed by the reunion. It's a rare and beautiful example of how animals can communicate their love in ways we don't always expect. In one of the most heart-wrenching reunions on this list, a zookeeper who had raised a giraffe was terminally ill. Knowing that he didn't have much time left, he visited the zoo one last time to say goodbye to the animals he had cared for. When he approached the giraffe, the animal seemed to sense the gravity of the moment, gently nuzzling him in what felt like a final farewell. It was a touching and emotional moment that left everyone in tears. After being lost for 3 months, this dog was finally reunited with its owner. But the reunion wasn't just emotional because of the time apart. The dog had also given birth to a litter of 8 puppies while it was lost. When the owner found them, the dog was overwhelmed with joy, wagging its tail and licking its owner's face in a heartwarming scene. It was a reunion not just with the dog, but with a whole new family of puppies. Flamingos are known for their graceful movements, but this one also knew how to give a hug. When its human companion returned after being away, the flamingo spread its wings and embraced them in a touching display of affection. The flamingo's excitement was clear, and the reunion showed just how strong the bond between birds and humans can be. Elephants never forget, and this baby elephant was no exception. After months apart, the baby elephant was reunited with its human friends, and it immediately began trumpeting and running around in excitement. It even playfully nudged them with its trunk, showing how much it had missed them. The joy in the elephant's eyes was unmistakable, and the reunion was filled with laughter and love. In this reunion, a horse that had been separated from its owner for years was reunited in an emotional scene. The moment the horse spotted its old friend, it galloped across the field and nuzzled its owner with such force that they almost fell over. The horse then stood by its owner's side, refusing to leave them alone, showing just how deep their bond had been. Meet Liam Bonnie, the adorable pup who hadn't seen his adoptive parents in 3 years. As soon as they walked through the door, Bonnie's tail started wagging furiously. He couldn't contain his excitement, jumping and running in circles around them. The joy was mutual, as Bonnie's parents embraced him, unable to believe they were finally reunited after so long. Smokey had been through a lot. After surviving a devastating fire, the poor dog spent 2 months being rehabilitated by a loving vet. When they finally reunited, Smokey ran as fast as he could, jumping into the arms of the vet who saved him. His wagging tail and excited barks were the ultimate thank you for the care and love he'd received. A horse that had been separated from its owner for years was reunited in a heartfelt scene. The moment the horse spotted its old friend, it galloped across the field, nuzzling its owner so forcefully that they almost fell over. The horse then stood by their side, refusing to leave, showing just how deep their bond had always been. Watch as this wild lioness transforms into a playful kitten at the sight of the man who saved her years ago. Her powerful presence melts into gentle affection as she playfully nudges and licks him. The lioness's eyes gleam with love and gratitude, reminding us that even the most ferocious creatures can have a soft spot for those who care for them. Aaron Morris lost his car, but what he missed the most was his beloved dog, Jolene. Abandoned in another state, it seemed hopeless to get her back. However, after what felt like a miracle, Jolene returned to her home. The moment she saw Aaron, she leaped into his arms, wagging her tail furiously. The joy in both of their eyes was undeniable as they were finally reunited. If you thought rabbits couldn't show affection, think again. When little Beanie saw his owner after a long vacation, he couldn't contain his excitement. Beanie hopped around with joy, running in circles and nudging his owner with his nose. It was a heartwarming display of love from a bunny that missed his human deeply. This mighty lion seemed to be enjoying his day when suddenly he heard a familiar voice. His ears perked up and his eyes widened as he recognized the voice of his owner, whom he hadn't seen in ages. With a loud, joyful roar, the lion rushed toward his owner, embracing him in the only way a lion can, with pure, raw affection. This man's heart sank when his beloved dog Mitzi went missing for 3 days. He searched everywhere, fearing the worst. However, his determination led him to a nearby foxhole, where he found Mitzi safe and sound. The reunion was emotional as Mitzi jumped into his arms, wagging her tail like crazy, happy to be back with her human. Despite their reputation as fierce hunters, cheetahs can form special bonds with humans. Gabriel, the cheetah, hadn't seen his friend in over a year. Yet the moment they reunited, Gabriel's soft purring filled the air. The wild animal rubbed against his friend affectionately, showing that even the wildest creatures can remember and love those who cared for them. Attila, an old ewe. Marine dog had been living in a shelter after retirement, but his former partner, Jacob Barella, fought for 3 years to take him home. The reunion was nothing short of heartwarming. Attila leaped into Jacob's arms, tail wagging with excitement. After years of waiting, the pair was finally together again. Casey, a schnauzer, hadn't seen her favorite person in 2 long years. When they were finally reunited, Casey was so overwhelmed with joy that she fainted. The moment was filled with laughter and concern, but fortunately, Casey was fine. It just goes to show how much dogs can miss their humans. Dean Schneider sold his company in Zurich 4 years ago to live among lions in South Africa. After being away for 2.5 weeks, he returned to his lion pride. The lions, recognizing their human brother, rushed toward him with excitement. Their reunion was filled with affectionate nudges and playful roars, showing the deep bond between Dean and his pride. This little bunny hadn't seen his owner in what felt like forever. When they were finally reunited, up and down in excitement. For a rabbit, this was the ultimate show of affection, and it was clear that Beanie had missed his human companion dearly. Derek had been with these elephants since they were babies, and their bond was unshakable. When Derek returned after a vacation, the elephants rushed to greet him, trumpeting in joy. They encircled him, their trunks reaching out in excitement. The reunion was heartwarming as these massive creatures displayed their loyalty and love for the man who had raised them. Rambani, a chimpanzee abandoned by his mother, was raised by humans after being born with pneumonia. The chimpanzee's human caretakers, Tanya and George, had given him a second chance at life, and Rambani never forgot their love. Years later, whenever he sees them, his excitement is palpable as he jumps into their arms and holds them close, never wanting to let go.